Hey, my name's James Nicholson and welcome to my YouTube channel. In this video, I want to talk about the demand for property at the moment is actually significantly increased in the last month. So we're going to talk about why it's increased, who's saying it's increased as well. What does this mean potentially for house prices, because it could have a big impact on that. Now, before we jump into this, as always, if you're new around here or maybe you just haven't done it yet, subscribe to the channel over there and hit the bell notification. We've got new property news and property education every single day, so it's really useful to you to subscribe to that. And while you're here, smash like, tickle like, hit that like button, guys. That really helps with the YouTube algorithm and just gets more views on the channel. So I really appreciate everybody that does that. So, estate agents have been surveyed for this article that was in the Financial Times, and it's talking about the surge in the market. Now, we've been talking for years on this channel, if you've been along for the ride, and recently we've been talking about the market's down significantly. The inquiries, the transaction volume is down by 25% at the moment. Now, at the end of last year, in December, the market cooled down significantly. So December 2023 was a lot quieter than December 2022. And that meant that the mortgage companies had to get creative. They had to cut rates, mortgage rates. The Bank of England still kept theirs high, but they cut their margins, they cut their rates in order to stimulate the market. And in January, February and March of this year, the market was significantly busier. Then they got greedy. They started creeping those rates back up, and the market got to this real stalemate where we had interest rates. A lot of people were expecting the Bank of England to finally cut interest rates. People were waiting to see also what happened with inflation. We had an election that people wanted to see who's actually going to get in power. Are they going to have any reason for people to buy a property? Because let's just say in May, you were considering buying a property. You know the election's in June or July, whenever it was. And you're not going to necessarily buy because you might want to see who does win, because maybe they give you a stamp duty holiday. So that slowed down the buying decisions there. A lot of people were waiting to see what happens with house prices. Have they peaked? Are they going to crash? Because you don't want to buy with the highest interest rates and the highest house prices. So people really started to want to see what happened. So August comes round, and August 1st, the Bank of England cut the rates. So this is one reason that we've got a busier market at the moment. So we went 5.25 down to 5% base rate. That really did kickstart the economy. But it also happened a little bit before that. So we just said in December, the market was quiet. So what happened was mortgage companies cut rates. This happened again this summer, June, July and August, still ongoing. Mortgage companies and lenders, they are cutting rates in order to get your business and my business. Because it's quieter, or it was quieter, that meant that they needed to stimulate the market. Now, the rate that they borrow from is called the SONIA swap rate. That's a rate that they get from bigger banks like JP Morgan and banks like that. That actually came down a little bit, giving them room to cut, but also they cut into their margins. So that was a real thing here. And so the mortgage cuts were another stimulant towards market activity. They're still ongoing, right? We've had a mortgage rate yesterday that went to 3.49%. If you want to know who that is, go and check yesterday's video. It's in the thumbnail, so you know which video to click on. One of the lenders went to 3.49. Now, I predicted about a week ago, this is how quickly the mortgage market's moving at the moment. I predicted that we'll get 3.5% by the end of the year by multiple lenders. I didn't think it would come that quick. It came within a few days, so that was interesting. Now, what's also happened is that the inquiries, the inbound inquiries, buyers that are going to the estate agents, more activity in just August. This is up 19%. 19% more inquiries on a year-on-year basis. So like compared to August of last year, we're 19% up. This is a big jump in activity, and this is being attributed to the fact that the mortgage rates have gone down. That's a big one. But also because a lot of people were sitting on the fence until the Bank of England made the first move. That was a signal to a lot of people that, right, things have changed now, because the transaction volume has been significantly down for the last year. There are lots of people that could afford to buy, that are ready to buy, that could get a mortgage, that they just wanted to sit things out. They wanted to see what happened. Those people are now back in the market, and that is a big uptick. Now, what that's going to mean is that it's unlikely, doesn't mean it's not going to happen, but it's unlikely that we'll see more price cuts. We did see big price cuts. So we saw asking prices, Rightmove's data this week said that asking prices in August were 1.5% down. Asking prices were down. Now, this would have happened before the inquiries, or those people would have been listing their properties in July. You don't just wake up August 1st, say, I want to sell my property. It's photographed, registered with the agent, and it's on Rightmove. It takes a few weeks to get that stuff done. So they would have made the decision when the market was quieter, before the Bank of England cut that rate. As soon as that happened, the inquiries came in. So that's marrying up a better asking price with more affordability, because the mortgage rates have dropped. So likelihood is that there's going to be quite a decent number of transactions actually turning into sales. So viewings are great. The fact that we've got 19% more buyers in the market now is good, but if they don't buy something, then who cares? It's irrelevant. But the fact is that that's a double bonus for those people. They've decided to come back in. I want to buy a property. I'll register with the agent. I'll go and have a look at stuff. They've got the mortgage rates coming down, meaning their affordability is coming down, and they've got asking prices that have dipped this month. That is all round good for sellers. So the sellers in the market will start to get some pickup, I believe, now. And I think the autumn through to the end of the year will be a much, much more positive market. Now, I'm not saying house prices aren't going to drop. I just don't see that happening in 2024. I think there's a lot of built up demand, pent up demand, people that want to do something, that have that wait and see, that will keep the market going until the end of this year. 2025 is a different story. If we go into recession or more people become unemployed, things could get really, really tough, and we've got to really take that into account. But if interest rates come tumbling down, and they could maybe go down to 3.5% on the base rate by the end of the year, if that happens, then I think that could stimulate the property market significantly, and prices could go up from there. Now, another consideration is the USA, the election, depending on who gets in. Potentially, if Trump gets in, he will push the Federal Reserve to cut rates fast. That could happen. But also, if unemployment goes up in America and they go into a recession, the Federal Reserve could, and I'm reading a lot on this at the moment, could cut rates faster than you can imagine. That means the English, the Brits, the Bank of England will also cut rates, and that really could make a difference to affordability for a lot of people. So that could keep the market strong next year as well. Let me know your thoughts on this. But I think it's good that we've got some demand back into the market. Do comment below with your thoughts and opinions. Take a moment to smash that like button, guys. That really helps. Do subscribe over there. Check out all the other content on my channel, including this video right here.